Having fled Lyria, Queen Meve ventured into Edirn, her old friend Reynard and new ally Gascon at her side. The war had bitten into this land too. Still, Meve hoped to sway King Demavend to her cause, and with his aid, to oust the traitors, retake her throne, and drive the Nilfgaardian invader from her realm. Yet to start, she was forced to fight, Scoia'tael no less. Emerging from a wood, Meve's retinue encountered a unit of elven rebels just moments from hanging a handful of prisoners. Among the latter, the Queen spotted a woman, a proud warrior with a striking, thick black braid.
The lass I believe I know.
Well, unless we rush to her rescue, it'll soon be you knew her.
Well said. Lyrians, attack!
Hang the butcher! Valoa!
Nay. Duan vacate.
Can't breathe, Your Grace. We must rush to her aid.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
The Scoia'tael warriors shocked the Queen with their speed, their cunning, and their cruelty. Yet in the end, the Lyrians prevailed. When the last elf hit the ground, the Queen had her men untie those they'd sought to hang.
1,000 thanks, Your Grace. Heard many tales of your valor. Pleased to see there weren't just flattery and propaganda.
Black Rayla. Haga, we saw you there. You command King Demavend's special forces.
That's right. Though not many remain to command.
So I see. How did it come to this?
My liege sent me to wipe out a Scoia'tael band, led by a rat called Eldane. Followed the vermin's tracks for several days. Straight into his trap, turned out.
Hunting elves in the woods. Truly inspired, I must say.
Had no choice. Doing nothing would have brought us surer, swifter doom. The Black Clad have invaded Edirn. Thanks to elven aid. They snap our supply lines, lurk like dogs, prey on vulnerable units and scouts.
You mean to say Nilfgaard's broken your defenses?
Aye. Though their march will soon halt, believe me. To advance, they'll have to take Rosberg, a stronghold that's yet to fall once. They'll break against its walls like waves upon the rocks.
While Edirn stands, the north is not yet lost. Rayla, the black swarm I have beheld. Endless lines of infantrymen, countless riders, war machines capable of crushing the hardest stone to gravel.
Your meaning, my lady?
That we must prepare for the worst.
I'll convey your grace's words to the king at the first occasion.
I'd rather hope to convey them myself. I have come to Edirn seeking aid. I wish to ask Demavend for support.
The king is in Rosberg, overseeing siege preparations. I'm heading that way too to report on our skirmish with the Scoia'tael. I might serve as your guide. These lands I know better than any.
Excellent. Guide on.
Yes, Your Grace?
How has it come to this? I, Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia, must prowl about the underbrush like a common bandit. And you, General Reynard Odo, once proud commander of 4 elite regiments of footmen, now lead a gang of deserters, bandits, and scythe-wielding peasants.
I do so proudly, Your Grace.
You must be joking, Reynard.
Your Majesty, under your husband I served 10 years, under you another 8. And never in that time did I fight for a more worthy cause. We seek not to grab land, or stifle a peasant revolt. We fight for all the North, for our freedom, that of others, and you alone didn't give up. Didn't even consider bending the knee before Nilfgaard.
Yes, all true. Yet look where it's brought me.
Your struggle has but begun, Your Grace, and I will do all in my power to see you triumph in the end.
I cannot forgive myself one thing, that I failed to see through Caldwell's schemes. He must have plotted treason for months, years even. Yet I suspected nothing.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Your Grace.
Easily said. Ugh, if I'd only realized it in time.
Nilfgaard would have found a different traitor, or sent an assassin north. It was unavoidable what happened. The Blackclads would have attacked in any case, and we'd have stood no chance to defeat the foe in open battle, repel him, drive him out.
So, had you been there when the peers assembled, you also would have voted to bend the knee?
No. My honor would never have allowed it. I'd have thrown myself into the fire, and probably died a fool for it. As matters stand, I still have a chance to thwart the invader, his intentions. It seems, in a twisted turn of fate, I should be grateful to Caldwell.
It's time I attended to other matters. So, Gascon, the soldier's life, does it suit you?
About the same as the bandit's life did.
I beg your pardon?
The tents are cold, the food's shite. On the plus side, plenty to drink, most days. A skirmish here, a scuffle there, Nilfgaardians one day, elves the next, and whoever we rout, we rob of what they've got.
Requisition, you mean? Fully in accordance with the laws of war.
Oh, please. Save your excuses for your father confessor.
I can't stop wondering. How did your strays break into the tower in Lyria?
They exploited its chief weakness.
What weakness is that? I oversaw its construction myself. Walls 5 feet thick, bars and grates of the sturdiest iron.
All tremendous, I'm sure. But how much do you pay the guards?
What? I don't know. The garrison's commander is in charge of that.
Let me tell you then. Not much, Maeve. Not much at all.
From atop a throne, it's hard to spot the little things. Example, a guard hard up for coin, or one with ambitions. But seeing that's second nature to even the most ordinary bandit. Take any castle door. To open it, to open all, one needs but a pouch of gold.
The Duke of Dogs. Whence the name?
Not certain I should tell you. It's a personal story somewhat.
I insist.
So, thing is, I'm a werewolf of sorts.
Did I hear werewolf?
Of sorts. You see, when the full moon glows in the night sky, I transform into a creature that's half man, half dachshund. And then all the other hounds of the night hearken to my command.
Oh, forget I asked.
With pleasure.
It's time I attended to other matters. Farewell.
Your Grace, how fortunate you're here. Behold what wickedness is afoot.
I'm trying to behold Sir Ake, yet I cannot be sure what.
Reynard and Gascon, my lady. Caught in the act of playing face cards.
Oh, that. Indeed they are. Good.
Good? Games of chance, good. Why, they are evil's very claws. Corrupting, tearing at the soul, seeping venom into the heart.
I wouldn't worry about Reynard's heart, Sir Ake. As for Gascon's, too late already, I fear. Besides, they're getting along, that's what matters. If cards do the trick, so be it. Does the good book contain an answer to every question?
Each and every query. Without exception.
What does it prescribe a mother betrayed by her son? Tender forgiveness or unflinching firmness?
A moment while I ponder. There's a verse in chapter 2. A child who doth with waywardness defy his mother and father deserveth discipline most severe. Strike him thus heartily, unless thine heart stilleth thy hand.
But one could interpret that any way one wishes.
To thine own self be judge and ruler, spoke the prophet Lebioda. For thou alone shalt answer for thine deeds before thee.
Very helpful, Sir Ake. Many thanks. Does the good book contain an...
Each and...
What does it
There's a verse.
But...
To thine own...
There's a certain wisdom to those words.
Yes, your majesty. One need but gaze deeply into the verses, and oneself.
Farewell, Ake. How fare you, Rayla? The quartermaster, did he assign you a tent?
He tried.
Oh, and...
I refused it. Best to sleep beneath the stars, little chance of a foe catching you off guard.
Rain accepted, perhaps?
I'm not made of sugar, ma'am. I'm not gonna melt.
One sees very few women in the ranks, let alone in the special forces. How did you come to join?
On merit. Proved I'd be of use.
Yes, well, naturally. But how exactly?
I was 15 when I went to enlist. But the sergeant in charge of signing folk up told me to scurry on home. So I proposed a wager. Arm wrestling. If I won, he'd let me join. If I lost, I'd pay him 100 crowns.
And that kind of coin? You had it?
No, so I had to win. As we sat down at the table, across from each other, he laughed and rolled up his sleeve. When it was over, all around us were laughing at him. Then I just followed orders. Did so well enough to draw the king's attention.
I must go. We'll speak later. gods! The entire country up in flames.
Ebdahi warned punishment awaited Edirn, that he would show the land no mercy.
What in God's names did you do to him, Rayla?
Nilfgaard offered us an alliance against the rest of the north, but Demoven declined, in his clipped soldier's speech. They say Ebdahi flew into a rage and swore he'd reduce Edirn to rubble.
I smell a leak.
For Demavend!
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Are you mad? Don't shake that!
Thing about slings, they hide well. Hey? Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
The chase is on!
This could hurt.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Nothing personal, I assure you.
A knight should help. Our codex commands it.
We got a job to do.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
Any of you seen Nimoy? Was bound here from Iconford. Supposed to have arrived 3 days past.
The Lyrians arrived at an ancient, half-desiccated beach. Its trunk sat atop a tangle of thick roots, and scraps of paper covered with tiny scribblings fluttered over it from top to bottom. Travelers crowded all around. Barefoot refugees, bony pilgrims, peddlers with armored escorts, and shifty-eyed men with the haggard look of deserters.
The Wayfarer's Beach.
Rayla said.
Travellers of all sorts swap tales here. Perhaps we can glean something about our enemy's movements.
or paint the enemy a clear picture of our own.
Gascon interrupted.
Nilfgaardian spies no doubt flock to this tree like flies to particularly pungent dung.
Niamh concluded it was foolish to risk revealing their position for rumors whose worth would, at any rate, be highly questionable. The Lyrians continued on their way. Niamh decided to proceed cautiously. She pitched camp in a nearby clearing and sent a scout dressed as a peddler to investigate the Wayfarer's Beach. Yet long hours passed with no sign of the soldier.
Gods be damned!
The Queen snarled.
Reynard, send some men to follow his tracks.
The Lyrians found the scout's body in the woods a few leagues from the Wayfarer's Beach. His corpse revealed clear signs of drawn-out, cruel torture. Niamh could only hope he had managed to hold something back from his captors. Disregarding matters of status and station, Niamh personally asked the travelers for the latest news. They soon transformed from terse to talkative, sharing tales of an elven bandit named Eldane, a Nilfgaardian general called Frigghef who murdered an entire village, and a sorceress who cure any ailment for a few coppers. Then a blood-curdling scream put a halt to the gossip. Niamh's soldiers had begun to quarrel with the merchant's guards, one of whom now lay dead on the ground, his throat a gaping wound.
The filth besmirched your honour, your grace. Said you took tail and ran from Lyria like a belted bitch.
The travellers were unmoved by this explanation. They demanded the Lyrian soldier be punished according to Eden's laws, by chopping off the hand that dealt the fatal blow. Niamh walked up to the accused soldier who awaited her verdict with tears in his eyes. She put her hand on his shoulder.
This man defended my honor.
The Queen proclaimed loudly.
For this he deserves not punishment, but praise. And you remember, whoever defames my name shall soon regret it.
Niamh's unit marched off to the sound of jeers and curses. But her soldiers held their heads high, proud of their queen. With a heavy heart, Niamh decided the soldier would have to be punished. Reynard silently drew his sword from its scabbard.
No, I shall do it,
Niamh said, in a tone that left no room for discussion.
Soldier, you sought to defend my honor. For that I praise you. But you committed murder. For that, I must punish you as called for by this land's customs.
Tears streaming down his face, the foot soldier rolled up his sleeve and placed his arm upon a tree stump. Niamh took a deep breath and raised her sword. A terrified scream filled the woods. The travelers gained newfound respect for Niamh. Though far from rich, they passed a cap and presented the Queen a handful of coins to show gratitude for upholding their laws. As for her Lyrians, they marched away from the Wayfarer's Beach in somber silence.
Ravens are always trailing armies. Ravens and beasts.
Tucked a bushel of grain away in my shack, but I'm too fearful to return there. You suppose they've gone? Tucked a bushel of grain away in my shack, but I'm too fearful to return there.
Soon after entering Edirn, Niamh ordered a halt. She wished to sit with Black Rayla and plan their onward march, for Rayla knew every path in the realm, including ones not drawn on any map. They were hard at work when shouts rang out among the tents.
One final time I shall say it. As your senior officer, I order you to depart the training grounds, or...
Or what, pray tell? You'll have me drop and give you 50?
What is the meaning of this?
Your Grace, I had thought to use this interval to drill the recruits, teach them...
To walk.
To maneuver, Gascon. A world of difference. In perfect harmony must soldiers traverse the field of battle. Otherwise, they could break formation. The enemy would penetrate our lines, and our army could be slaughtered.
And therein lies the rub, dear Reynard. Army. This is no army, but a band of partisans. If we do not adapt to the rules of desperation, if we adhere instead to the Academy Codex, we shall lose. Laying traps, wiping tracks, that's what we should teach the lads. Not marching to the beat.
All my eye! A fighting force must have discipline. Otherwise, tactics and planning are impossible. A soldier must obey orders.
Show some respect, Gascon. When Reynard in his first charge rode, you teetered upon a rocking horse. Do not dismiss his experience. Our resources are limited. We cannot do everything at once. Prepare your proposed plans for training the recruits, and I shall decide which we shall follow. Clear? Then get to work. Douse your outrage, Reynard. Gascon makes a valid point. Change we must accept, embrace even. Our resources are limited. We cannot do everything at once. Prepare your proposed plans for training the recruits, and I shall decide which we shall follow. Clear? Then get to work. A point on which we all agree. And since they are mine to give, I order you both to calm yourselves at once, and never air your squabbles in front of the men again. Our resources are limited. We cannot do everything at once. Prepare your proposed plans for training the recruits, and I shall decide which we shall follow. Clear? Then get to work.
Stop your yapping and start digging.
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs. Don't you worry yourself, Your Grace. We'll get it done in no time. Pissing in the moat? Oh, you're dead.
were to harvest, yet the fields are nothing but ash. Did our oats not suit the Emperor? However did our oats and other plantings harm him? Blackclads brought them monsters here, I'm sure of it. Your Majesty, I beg ye, let me join your ranks. Nothing but hunger and death await me here.
Your Grace.
Meave heard Reynard call out from behind her.
The scout's returned. Claims to bear an urgent message.
The Queen halted her horse and waited for the soldier to reach her. He abandoned all formalities and jumped straight to the point.
Milady, a black-clad caravan, armed to the hilt, rides this way. To believe the rumours, they're hauling a load of war loot back south.
Reynard gave the soldier new orders, then turned to Meave.
Sounds like a prime opportunity to replenish our coffers.
Or to lose a great many men.
Meave said, shaking her head.
No, Reynard. I'd rather decrease rations than have no one left to ration to.
The Nilfgaardian caravan continued its journey south undisturbed. As for what cargo it carried, that I never did learn.
Indeed. An opportunity we cannot ignore.
The Queen said.
Your unit will block their path. Gascon and his men will hide in the woods and strike their flanks, while I shut the trap, attacking from behind.
Their plan established, Meave gave the signal to move out. A brief moment later, the fight began.
We must drive them into the ambush! Follow me!
Watch your heads!
Life is mine now!
Catch!
Wise choice.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Sure took your time. Thought you'd forgotten about me. Now! Oh! Very glad!
Yeah, yeah!
Order!
We'll catch 'em all! The chase is on!
Alba!
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Scheiß! In! Zwei!
Off to the front yet again.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Quiet, or the Kommissar will hear.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Brach! Scheiß! In! Zwei!
The caravan is ours, milady.
Their plan ended in success, the Nilfgaardians crushed. As soon as the dust had settled, Niamh tore the canvas off the nearby wagons to see what precious loot they had so carefully guarded. She expected to find gold, jewels, or exquisite silks. Instead, she saw dirty, terrified figures bound in chains.
Slaves,
Reynard muttered.
Their precious cargo. Slaves. Behold the glorious future the Empire brings us.
Niamh ordered the prisoners freed and discovered they were Edirnian peasants on their way to dig canals and dredge swamps as forced laborers.
You are free. You can return to your homes,
The Queen said. If she expected words of thanks and gratitude, she was in for a disappointment.
What homes, my lady?
Asked one of the peasants, holding back tears.
Took our land, they did. Nothing we have now. Not a rag to wear, not a crumb to eat. Leave us, we die. Soldiers don't do us in, monsters will. Us human hunger and cold don't get us first.
The Queen was about to answer when she heard Gascon, standing behind her, whisper,
Before you make any rash promises, please, some maths. Dozens of hungry mouths to feed, and weak bodies to defend, twice as many tired legs to wait for, while war rages all around. You do realise you cannot save everyone.
As you see, my numbers are few.
the Queen began. Hearing her tone, the former slaves knew all hope was lost. Seeing the despair on their faces, Niamh's voice wavered for a moment.
And our coffers are bare. I am sorry. We cannot help you.
Niamh left food for the peasants freed from the Nilfgaardian wagons. She estimated it would last them 3 or 4 days. After that, they would be a problem that was not the Queen of Lyria's to solve.
I attacked this caravan hoping to fill my coffers.
The Queen said.
Instead, I have only secured a new drain upon them. But very well. In these ill times, we Northerners must help our own. Women and children in the wagons. The men shall march alongside to the rear. I warn you, if you cannot keep pace, we shall leave you by the roadside. Move out!
The Queen's gaze momentarily caught the eyes of an old woman her soldiers were helping onto a wagon. Tears of gratitude poured down her soot-stained face, across hard lines left by years of destructive toil. Niamh was convinced she had done the right thing. As Meve neared Gatburg, her eyes were drawn at once to the black pennants flying over its palisades. Nilfgaard's pennants. Her scouts found the city's buildings intact, its streets unstained by blood. Black-clad soldiers could be seen guarding storehouses holding loot pillaged from nearby settlements. Curiously, these soldiers were very few in number.
The gates stand open. Clearly the Imperials expect no attack, giving us the element of surprise. We can take back the city and
make off with the gold.
Gascon finished. In the end, Meve decided not to attack the city. Liberating Gatburg would not change the course of the war, and losing a battle here might severely weaken her troops. The Lyrians stood before the walls of Gatburg once more, Nilfgaardian banners still waving proudly above them. Meve hated Nilfgaard and needed gold to maintain her army. Two very good reasons to attack Gatburg. Her decision made, she ordered her men to prepare for battle. Now the invaders would have to try their hand at defending.
Larven! Essay to nothing!
They feel at home here, the Nilfgaardians. Let's show them they're wrong.
New orders? No?
Catch!
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
I smell a leak.
Life is mine now.
No signs of fighting. These Horsens must have opened the gates for the Blackclads.
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Wise choice.
Prepare to fight, if you've any honor.
Notice! All roads lead to Nilfgaard!
Order!
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
That was not in the spellbooks.
Go, hop, hop!
Brach! Scheiß! In zwei!
If anyone asks, You've not seen me.
Off to the front yet again.
Quiet! What a commissar will hear.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
The battle's won, Your Majesty.
The Battle of Gatburg ended in Meave's victory, much to its inhabitants' displeasure. While she examined the Nilfgaardian storehouses, the city's mayor, an elderly gentleman with a walrus moustache, requested a private audience.
Your Grace, I am old. Kill me, you'll merely save my gout the trouble. So I'll be frank. You've but few men. You'll not spare one to defend the city. When you ride off, the Imperials will retake Gatburg, peer into their looted storehouses, and seek revenge. You will be far off, while we shall be oh so terribly near.
The old man creaked down onto his knees and gripped the hem of the Queen's coat with knobby fingers.
Your Majesty, I beg you, leave the gold, or the streets of Gatburg will flow with the blood of our women and children.
Meave contemplated what to make of the fellow. Should he be praised for his forethought and concern for his townsmen, or condemned for cowardice and insolence? Black Rayla, however, had no such doubts.
Traitors all. Small wonder the town's untouched. Must have opened the gates wide for the southern scum. Now they want us to let them fill their pockets with plundered gold.
After a moment's hesitation, Meave had her soldiers load the stolen gold onto their wagons.
As you pointed out, Mayor, my army is small, which is why I need gold to expand it.
The mayor said nothing. He bowed to the Queen, then hobbled off, leaning heavily on his cane, as if this short exchange had cost him years of life.
We haven't any reason to rejoice, friend. Blackclads will be back. Just you wait and see.
Meave stood before one of the chests, filled to the brim with gold. She slammed its lid shut with a bang.
The gold stays. Every coin.
She said,
In exchange, I wish you to promise when the moment arrives, when Nilfgaard is on the retreat, you will take up arms and stick them in their black-clad backs.
The old man stared for a long while into Meave's cold eyes, then merely nodded his head in silence.